Hey, what's up? Hello. Welcome to Hack a Chat, the NBA's first podcast featuring a man who steals every single pair of 3D glasses he gets. I do it every single time. They always have the little recycle bin, and I'm like, no, these are mine now. I paid a premium for these glasses. I'm going to keep them. Joining me as always, who's seemingly reaching... Oh, look at that.
Whoa,
sunglasses
whoa,
already.
Dan.
Oh, killer.
Nice.
Hey, it's everybody's favorite Rogue Rebel, Dan Solo. Nice. Dan, what are we going to do today?
Oh, we are here to talk some hoops and tell you what happened to Harold Miner.
With us, as always, behind the MacBook, we have our excellent editor, Gyro.
It's nice to be here.
We're glad you showed up. We're glad to be here. We're doing a special episode right here. It's just for YouTube, just for you guys watching the video. We're going to do a little bit of show and tell. We got some stories time for you. It's really fun. I had to do the Star Wars reference. We just saw Star Wars. Dan, have you seen Rogue One?
So my family, we always do a Christmas Day movie, and we all, as a group, decided to hold off until seeing it on Christmas Day. So I've gone completely dark on all Star Wars. I have not even looked at any reviews. I've just seen how it is rating on Rotten Tomatoes. But no, I am not. I'm keeping myself clear of anything Star Wars so I can watch it live on the 25th.
Well, spoiler alert, you've already probably seen episode 4, A New Hope.
Yes.
So you know how the movie is going to end. It's a really weird experience for me.
You're right.
Watching that movie and being like, wait, I know what's going to happen.
I already know.
I know how like it was when I saw the movie Race, the movie about Jesse Owens. And I was like, ooh, wow, what's going to happen? He's going to win. I know he wins. I know he wins. It's like, oh, is he going to go? Like the whole time they're like, is he going? Is he not going? I was like, I'm pretty sure he goes to the Olympics.
I think he goes.
History
tells us.
I'm pretty sure.
Like it's suspenseful for a moment, and then I think, and then I'm like,
oh, that's right.
Right, I already have this. So we wanted to do a fun episode right here with just the YouTube. This is going to be a little bit more visual episode, so it didn't make sense to post them on our audio podcast. Whatever. So here we go. Fun little YouTube video. Dan, do you know what I did last Saturday?
I have an idea what you did, but why don't you tell the listeners / watchers what you did?
I went to my very first Cleveland Cavaliers game.
Whoa.
I've never gone to a Cavs game. Live in Ohio. Huge basketball fan. Never been to the Q. It's Quicken Loans Arena. Super excited about it. And so we figured we'd do a little bit of a show and tell, because let me tell you, when you go for your first time at the Q, you can get some fun swag, and I'm going to tell you how to do it.
That's right.
It started out, my mom got these tickets because she's always wanted to see LeBron. She loves LeBron. And she happened to get the Lakers. I was like, perfect. I could see D'Angelo Russell. And then D'Angelo Russell didn't play. He was injured. Yeah. But I got to see Brandon Ingram. The entire time, all I was doing was hoping for Larry Nance to get a dunk.
Ooh,
he didn't get any points until the fourth quarter. Like, he did not play a great game.
The dunk he had against Brook Lopez
was good enough
this week was good enough for the rest of his life, in my opinion. So
yeah,
sorry you didn't see that live, but you got to see him in person though.
That's cool. It was absolutely incredible. Funny thing that the announcers did with Larry Nance. Obviously, Larry Nance Sr., his father, played for the Cavs. He has his number retired at the Q. Anytime they would say his name, there you go. Personal foul, Larry Nance Jr. Like, it's just a slight pause. Larry Nance Jr. And every time it made me think of Harry Potter when they go, I don't know if you've seen the Harry Potter films, Dan, but I know Dover has. They talk about Barty Crouch, who's like this guy who's in the Ministry of Magic, but it's actually his son who did this horrible thing. They're like, Barty Crouch Jr. And like, there's like, every time there's like Larry Nance Jr. Anyways, sorry. So what happened when I got there? Obviously, I got there super early. You know, being an NHL guy, being a hockey guy, you can go all the way up to the glass for warm-ups. And you can stand wherever you want in the arena. It doesn't matter as long as you go back to your seat after warm-ups are over. So I was like, ooh, I bet I could do this at the NBA. Not the case. I went up to my usher, and I was like, hey, do you think I can move down forward to watch the warm-ups? He's like, nah.
Yeah, who do you
like,
think you are?
What are you trying to pull? And I was like, oh, like I legitimately didn't know. Like, this is my first game. I'd never been here. He was like, oh, this is your first game? I was like, yeah. He's like, right outside of our concourse, which is right outside or right outside our section, which is on the concourse. It's like at section 101. If you ever want to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers game, you got to know where this is. That's where guest services is. You tell them it's your first game, and they hook you up. And so, like, you have your you sign your name. I was like, all right, this is cool. And they're like, oh, here, check this out. And so they gave me this lanyard.
Ooh.
Nice, yeah. And it says my first game at Quicken Loans Arena. It actually has the logos of all 3 teams that play there: the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cleveland Gladiators, and of course my favorite, the Cleveland Monsters, the Blue Jackets AHL team. So they gave me that. I was like, oh, this is cool. So I get to walk around and everybody gets to see that I've never been here before. And then the lady gives me this fat head of Tristan Thompson. Whoa. Look at this thing. It's like I got news. Paul George is going to find some company in our set here because we got to put him up. Right. It's an actual sticker that comes off. And it's super cool. And I was super excited about it. And so the way she said it was like, she looked around. She's like, oh, I'll give you Tristan Thompson. And hands it to me. And I start walking away. And like, I thought about how she said that. She's like, there's probably more available.
There can be more.
And I brought it up and I showed my mom, who we came to the game together. And she's like, ooh, I can go and see if they give me a different player. I was like, that sounds great. And so she comes back. She has a lanyard. She also got this Go Cavs sign.
Oh, that is
nice.
Awesome.
Go Cavs.
The old school logo.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then she pulls out her Tristan Thompson one. So we got 2 Tristan Thompson fat heads. And I was like, that's fine. Okay, no worries. So they said, after I signed this thing, they said, come back at halftime. And I was like, all right, sounds good. So I come back at halftime and I was like, hey, I don't know what I have to be back here for, but I was curious, do you guys have any other fat heads? She's like, oh, you like those fat heads?
Do we have any other fat heads?
Oh, of course. And so she gives me star Mike Dunleavy.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, Mike Dunleavy Jr. So I got Mike Dunleavy, and then she's like, oh, I think I have one more. And this was the coup de grace. And I was so hoping for it. No, it's not Kyrie. No, it's not LeBron. No, it's not Kevin Love. Of course, it's J.R. Smith. I was so excited. I was like, when I told my mom to go back, I was like, if you can ask for a player, get J.R. Smith. And she it was so busy. She's like, I couldn't ask. So I just got the one that they gave to me. I was like, I get it. The last thing that I got when I was there at halftime was they printed out this certificate with my name on it to show that I had actually been at the game.
Chuck, that is amazing.
Isn't this so cool? I got a bunch of fat heads. I got a sign. And if you sit on the end sections right behind the baskets on like it's like there's 3 sections on the ends. Depending upon what half the away team is shooting free throws, they also give you a pair of Thunder Sticks. At every game, they do this at every game.
Pretty amazing.
So even if it's not your first game, even if you've been to the game before, I don't think that they keep track of how many games you've been to. I bet you could get all of these things if you wanted. So if you're interested, if you're headed to the queue, if you want a cool experience, I highly recommend it. Dan, I know you are going on Friday. And so if you want the hookup, I know how to get it.
Yes.
And it's by going to guest services.
That's perfect.
And so that's just going to make your trip. That'll be the coolest thing for you.
Yes.
I think you'll love that.
My first question. When you were there, you got there for warm-ups, obviously. You're there early enough. So when they did the pregame announcement of the starters, here's my question. Did you feel the heat from the cannons that lower down?
Oh, first off, absolutely.
Yes, give me the whole thing. Yeah.
So that definitely happened. That was really cool. No, so it was the Lakers game. So this was Mozgov's first time back in Cleveland. Right, so he was getting his ring, and that was really cool. And all of the Cavs guys, they ran over. I don't know if you've seen the videos. Check it out. It's a really cool thing. All of the Cavs guys go over and celebrate with him, and they dogpile him a little bit. It was really cool. And as I looked, I saw all the players who were there, and then they transitioned from that into the player announcements. And so they did that, and he got it. It was really cool. And I'm looking, I was like, that's weird. LeBron wasn't in that little mosh there. That's super strange. They did the Lakers team announcement, and then they lowered the lights and they brought down those cannons. And I didn't expect that because I've been to the Q once before, but it was for a hockey game. So it makes sense that they didn't do the fire cannon at the hockey game. You know, the ice, water, humidity, whatever. There's like, they have to take care of that stuff. And so then they did the player announcements. And of course, LeBron is last, and they have the camera there. And they announced LeBron's name. They announced LeBron's name. They shoot over to the bench and this tunnel that the players made, and you see an empty bench. I was like, oh, this is super awkward. And then it just goes over to Kyrie leaving the huddle. LeBron is not on the floor. And then, like, after a minute, they, like, break their huddle, and here comes LeBron running on, and everyone freaks out because they finally see, everyone held their breath. They're like, oh my gosh, where's LeBron James?
Right.
What happened?
Is he not here today?
I was like, what's going on? There was some guy who had a sign. He's like, I drove 12,000 miles from Singapore. I don't remember where he was from. And I don't think you can drive from Singapore. Anyway, he's like, I drove 12,000 miles to be here to see LeBron. And on the back of it, he had another one just in case LeBron decided to rest like he did with the Grizzlies. And it said, and LeBron's on the bench. And he was like ready to hold that sign up. And he was like, oh, there's LeBron. Okay, never mind.
Okay, he's good. He's good.
All right,
okay. Give me the big marker. Give me the big marker to wipe out the back because he's here.
Get it out. So we're good. One of my favorite parts, I was talking about this. I'm always looking at promotions, and they have like these big Gatling guns where they shoot like these little rubber balls all over the place.
Right.
They had 2 Gatling guns filled with these rubber balls, and they were both at the same corner of the floor, and they were both shooting at the same corner of the arena. I was like, what are you doing? You've just pretend like you're including everybody. Like those don't have to plug into somewhere. You're not hardwired into anything, so you have to stay at that corner. It was so ridiculous.
Well, maybe they were thinking in like Civil War times where it's like those Gatling guns were pretty tough to move. Now, like they're a little more flexible. You can take them a little different places.
On those things.
But now maybe they just had it in their head. Maybe they were doing a Civil War reenactment earlier this week, and they just had it in their brain that the Gatling gun had to stay stationary. So maybe give him a break. I don't know.
I understand. Maybe. Yeah. If you enjoyed hearing about my Cavs experience, I actually tweeted a lot about it. The entire game there, I was finding different stuff. Almost none of it was actually about the game, just about things I was seeing or people I was hearing or whatever. Go ahead and check out our Twitter. That's hack_chat. You can see my little story there. It was a lot of fun. Quickly, what we want to do now, preview these Christmas games. Dan, you are coming back home to Columbus in a week.
So we'll preview the games, but also, maybe a little sprinkle on top of something nice here. We are going to be doing our first in-studio show for the first time in a while.
In months.
While I'm back.
Years
for
almost.
The Christmas holiday. But let's not spend too much time previewing that as spending more time previewing the actual games.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Christmas season.
I think everybody is excited for the Cavs and the Warriors game. So I think let's dive a little deeper in some different layers of things. Game that I'm really excited about seeing.
Wait, do you hear that?
Whoa.
I think that's Santa Claus.
Wow, do you think he's on my roof too?
No, how is he in both of our roofs at the same? It's also
he's
not
magic,
Christmas.
Charlie.
This is Sunday night. How is he? This is amazing. Oh gosh. Well, that was incredible.
But yes.
Okay, so Santa's here, so now we have to talk about Christmas.
Exactly. So the Christmas Day games, we have a great schedule. Obviously, we've got the rematch of the NBA Finals, but I think there are some really good games on. Like I'm looking forward to Timberwolves Thunder. That's in the evening. That's going to be a great one. But just to keep with every podcast talking about Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah,
we got it. So he is playing the Celtics. And the first game, kicking things off at noon on Christmas Day. Excited about that matchup. You have 2 of the most tradition-laden teams in the NBA playing each other to start Christmas Day, which will just be fun. They'll have the fun Christmas Day uniforms, which are always cool. And we get to see Kristaps just playing. He's been on a tear as of late, and I think some of that has to do with a little bit of a scuffle he ran into with Marquise Chris. We'll get into that next week when we get together for our live pod. But yeah, excited to see Kristaps. Excited to see him playing on Christmas Day, and that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. Chuck.
Well, I'm really looking forward to the Lakers game and the Clippers game. Just LA, we're staying there, man. First off, seeing the Lakers, I really like Luke Walton. Like, I just really like him. They stayed in that Cavs game despite being outmatched. They just show a lot of heart. It's despite guys not having great nights. Oh my gosh, Nick Young getting 32 points was like the greatest thing for me, by the way. Yeah. I kept yelling Swaggy P, and the guy who was in front of me, I'm wearing a Cavs shirt. So I blended in, and I was rooting for the Cavs when they had big moments. It was like, LeBron got a big dunk. I was like, woo! And I was like, Swaggy P got a 3. I was like, woo! The guy turned around. He's like, who are you rooting for? And I was like, offense. I'm rooting for offense.
Just people putting the ball
in the basket. Basketball. And he's like, okay, I get it. And I was like, thanks. I'm a Warriors fan. Don't tell anybody else.
Nobody else.
Die. Yeah. So it was so cool to watch that. I want to see Larry Nance just absolutely destroy more people. We saw them almost commit manslaughter, really. I don't think he meant to kill Brook Lopez, but he was just in the way. Also noted, he also killed Anthony Bennett because he just crossed him completely over, and Anthony Bennett just looked like a complete buffoon. But I'm really excited about this Clipper game. I think that Doc is losing his mind slowly. Blake Griffin not being in, that'll be part of it. It started with that game against the Nets where he just completely lost it. He got thrown out of another game. And I think he's just slowly going insane, and we're going to see him turn into the Joker. And that's going to be phenomenal. And I can't wait. It's a late night game on Christmas Day. So, you've had your entire day filled with Christmas cheer, and just sit back and just watch the Clippers and Lakers just beat each other up. Also, might I add little advice for your Christmas Day? 2:30 is like right when people are having dinner for Christmas.
Right.
Look, there's been a lot of things happening this year on the political stance that your family might be split on, or many other things that you just don't want to talk about. It's been a weird year. Put on the Golden State Warriors playing the Cleveland Cavaliers during dinner. You're going to love it. It's going to be fine. Your family doesn't have to sit and argue. You just enjoy some great basketball. All right?
Yeah. There's that. And then
highly recommend it.
The majority of the people love Steph. Mm-hmm. You've got the stuff with Kevin Durant. You have LeBron. You have just all of the stars. Yep. Just turn that on. Maybe your discussion gets heated, but let's make it heated about the Warriors and the Cavs, and maybe not so much about the serious undertones of things that are happening in the United States. Maybe a little easier to have the back and forth if you're, one side of the Cavs, one side of the Warriors. Maybe a little easier discussion, but yes, it'll be a fantastic game. Lot of fun things happening Christmas Day. Mm-hmm. And I think the NBA has done a really good job of, weaving in some really fun, really cool games and some different things with uniforms to make Christmas Day even more enjoyable.
Yeah, we've always loved the Christmas stuff. We're excited to celebrate our favorite holiday, and that is the NBA Christmas. Maybe Santa is... Do you think he's still here? Do you think he's still on the roof, or is he about to take off? I think we'd hear him if he's about to take off. There he is. Okay. So Santa came and visited us just for our Christmas previews, and now he's gone. He's got a lot of work. The holiday season, he's got to get
down the stretch.
Deadlines. So yeah,
he's down the stretch here.
I'm glad we could do this short little video for you guys. Make sure you check out the rest of our videos here on YouTube. Yeah. Yes, Dan?
You know what I just realized?
What?
You know how much time we have left? These are normally pretty long.
I know, but we're just doing a short one. We're just cutting it off. We did the show and tell Christmas preview, plug the live show.
Ambush attack. We have all this time. I don't have my notes with me, but man, I've studied so much Harold Miner. I could just do it off the cuff. What do you think?
Dude, I have to go to work in a little bit. I can't do this. I have stuff going on. You have stuff going on too. Dover probably has things. I don't know what Dover's doing with his life.
Show. Can we do a Harold Miner segment? Just maybe.
All right.
Think about it.
Well, maybe. We'll think about it.
Could it be my Christmas gift from you to me?
Oh gosh. Give me.
You
know what? I think I'm just going to celebrate Hanukkah this year. If that has to be our Christmas gift.
Oh, boy. I think next time, maybe. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Maybe Santa will deliver me 5 minutes of Harold Miner talk on our podcast.
Well, until then, travel safe. Be good to one another. Merry Christmas.